Well, hello everyone and welcome back to Before the Four. I'm digital host A.J. Wuest, super excited to bring another Before the Four to you all watching right now this fine Wednesday afternoon. And it is such a beautiful day out there today. I just gotta shout out the weather right now because this is what I'm talking about. This is my kind of weather. I grew up in the South, grew up in the hot weather, so I definitely love hotter weather, and it is certainly going to be heating up as the week progresses. But I just had to give a quick shout out to the weather out there, and I haven't gotten to enjoy it this much, but I already know as soon as I get off of work, I am going to be basking in this gorgeous, gorgeous weather. But anyway, if you are new to Before the Four, you don't necessarily know what this is. You just kind of saw it on YouTube, on Facebook, on the website, WAFF.com. And you're like, who is this guy speaking? I am A.J. Wuest. I'm the digital host here at WAFF 48. And this is a little live stream where we talk about WAFF's top stories before the evening newscast. And of course, if you are returning to Before the Four, I want to thank you all for spending your afternoons here with me before our newscast goes on. Also, feel free to leave a comment on Facebook. I could see if you comment right here. Maybe you have a question. Maybe you just want to say hello. No matter what it is, feel free to leave a comment. But anyway, without further ado, I think it is time we dive into today's top stories. And this, we're going to start things off on a story that broke earlier today on our website. And let's pull up the circle box right here. But yeah, starting things off, a Lauderdale County man pleaded guilty to intentionally murdering his father in court this morning. Now, Matthew Good pled guilty to the murder of his father. He was 66-year-old Donald Good in a Lauderdale County courtroom. Now, in January 2023, Lauderdale County deputies, they say they responded to a domestic dispute call involving a father and a son at a home on County Road 5. Now, the caller claimed the son was armed with a knife. Now, investigators found Donald Edward Good dead on the living room floor of that home. He was suffering from an apparent knife wound to the neck. Now, the judge did not announce a sentencing date just yet, but earlier today we spoke with Lauderdale County Assistant Director Angela Holsey about this case, and this is a little bit of what she had to say.
There was obviously a lot of emotion involved from the family. They've had to endure a lot just to get this case to trial, and in the course of preparing for trial, they've had to relive some very troubling, very traumatic incidents for them, and had to hear some very traumatic audio of the 911 call. So we're very thankful that we were able to reach a successful conclusion.
Certainly a very wild story there. And now in Madison County, where a recent graduate from New Hope High School, his name is Hayden Hill, was on a senior trip in Italy when he tragically fell into a 60-foot hole, which severely injured him. Today I sat in on a press conference with Senator Tommy Tuberville and asked the senator about this situation, and here's what he had to say about working to bring him back home from Italy. Let me pull it up.
You know, accidents do happen. You have to be very careful when you go out of our borders of our country, because other countries are a little bit different in terms of rules, regulations, all the red tape that you have to go through. But you know, people behind the scenes, people in that we have in Huntsville and even in Birmingham in our offices are working, trying to pull enough of this red tape back to make sure that we can get him home.
And I am definitely rooting for him to get back home as soon as possible. And if you might have missed it, you might have not, you might have already seen it, but 48's Haley Baker, she spoke with Hayden's sister and some family members yesterday, and you can find that full interview on WAFF.com on our website. But yes, very sad story there. Now, staying in Madison County, where a mother continues to wait for justice over 8 months after her son was killed in cold blood. Yesterday, 48 Savannah Sapp spoke with the family of Devin McDonald, who was shot and killed on Quality Circle in Huntsville last August. Let's see what the family had to say about this tragic shooting.
Pain from the loss of Devin McDonald is still raw for his mother, Kenyelle Raybon.
It was dramatic, still is, very much caused, devastation. Daily it is a struggle.
She says she has not received justice for her beloved son. Just a month away from what would have been his 24th birthday, McDonald's alleged killer, Damon Blinks, remains in the custody of the Hamilton County Sheriff's Department in Indiana. Now the healing process for Raybon has been delayed. Huntsville police say Blinks shot McDonald on Quality Circle in Huntsville and stole his car. He then ran to Indiana, where he was arrested for unlawful possession of a firearm. Blinks was sentenced to 8 years in prison for those charges today, while the family of his alleged victim fights for their day in court.
We want to see him in court and know that he is held accountable for the death of Devin, a dental student at the University of Alabama, Birmingham. He definitely did not deserve what happened in August, and we're going to see fit that he sees his day in court.
Police and prosecutors have yet to confirm how quickly Blinks will be returned to Alabama to answer for McDonald's murder, but the family has a few choice words for him.
You're not gonna murder my nephew, go to Indiana, and that's where it ends. No, you're coming back to Alabama.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, Savannah. Obviously a very sad story there. Now, also, in case you missed it, yesterday 48's Matthew King did a story on two kids in Decatur who were both hit on separate occasions within close proximity of each other. Now, I will play that package for you all right now.
Neighbors like Forest Boston are shocked to see their busy road, Glen Street, have two separate crashes into children in just a few days.
Oh my gosh.
The first wreck happened on Saturday night when police say a driver took off after crashing into a child.
Tell me that it was like an SUV vehicle that hit him and left and parked over in the public parking lot and come back, and then he got in his car and left. So I don't know. He's in deep trouble if they catch him, I guess.
The second crash happened Monday when officers say this driver stayed on scene. Boston says there are many children in the area with several apartments on Glen Street. He's worried they aren't safe to play anymore.
Just obey the speed limit when you're driving and watch your children. Don't let them get out in the street. I know that's going to be hard to do, but don't let them get out in the street. Play all they want to, but stay off the street.
Similar concern coming from Councilman Hunter Pepper, who oversees the district Glen Street is on.
In a lot of neighborhoods, kids, ride their bikes. They go play outside, and they go down the street to go find their next friend, and then they get that friend, and then they go to the next house and get their next friend, and they go playing around the neighborhood.
He's hoping to see an increased police presence in the area to encourage drivers to slow down.
You can't have an officer every time you need them, whenever you need them, and they're not going to be able to see everything that occurs. However, having a high presence and enforcing traffic violations in that area would be a lot of help.
Very true. And drivers, make sure now with schools out, the students are back home, they're on their bikes. Make sure you're looking out for students if you're on the roads, because we do not want to have another child hit by a car. But now in a little bit of lighter news, if you're looking for something to do this weekend, whether it's for your kiddos or to celebrate Father's Day, one thing you can do is you can head on out to Bridge Street Town Center, as they will be putting on a brand new event called Touch a Truck. Now today I got to speak with Bridge Street Marketing Director Haley Lowry for 48 Now as she previewed this new event here. Let's take a listen. You just mentioned it's a first-time event.
Yes, this is the first one we've done. We got acquired by Tanger back in November. A few of their properties do this event, and I thought it'd be a really great community event to bring to Bridge Street.
Super awesome. That is so cool. But first, Haley, can you just talk a little bit about this event and why you think it will be so special to the Huntsville community, whether it's the kids that will be there, whether it's the fathers out celebrating Father's Day?
Yeah, so with the help of Huntsville Hospital sponsoring this event, we've been able to connect with a lot of local community organizations, including HIMSI, Huntsville Fire, Huntsville Police. We also thought it'd be fun to bring in some more like construction vehicles. So we partnered with Sunbelt Rentals to bring some tractors in. And then also 2 Minute a Truck joined us with bringing in one of their trucks. So it'll be a lot of cool trucks for kids to see, just something fun to do for Father's Day, which I feel like is kind of overlooked sometimes. So we're celebrating the dads this weekend.
Absolutely. And I know when I was a kid, especially, I was a big fan of big trucks. I believe that might have been one of my first words, big truck.
Big truck.
And I know as a kid, I would have definitely gotten a kick out of this event, like getting to like touch these awesome like Hemsey trucks, these construction trucks that will be there.
Yeah, I think these kids will be able to like climb on in, and I'm thinking it'll probably be too hot for these firefighters to be in full gear, but I think they'll have some hats, and we'll have some hats and giveaways to give out, so I think it'll be really exciting.
Well, very cool. And you mentioned the heat, and it is definitely going to heat up this weekend. That is for sure. Is there any like heat precautions that will be at the event? Maybe like some cooling stations, some misters?
Yeah, so I made sure to tell all our people to bring their coolers of water, bring their tents. Marble Slab is bringing their ice cream truck. We also are right in the middle of main events right next door to the event, so if you need some indoor fun, you can go inside main event, just go across the street to our main concourse and get in those pop jets to cool off. So just jump in a restaurant and get your cool off when it's time.
Super cool. That is awesome. Can you also mention some of the other festivities that will be there? I believe there'll be live music.
Yes,
yeah.
So we have live music coming from Big Daddy Kingfish, which is a local artist group. And then we also have a local face painter, a local balloon artist. So a lot of fun activities for the kids outside of just looking at trucks. So even if your kid's not a big truck fan, they can still come out and hang out and have some fun activities.
Exactly. Yes, that was a super fun interview today. So if you're looking for something to do this weekend, head out to Bridge Street, touch a truck. You can touch a truck, you can sit in a Hemsey truck. There's face painting, there's live music there. I believe there is balloon art that will be there as well. But that's just something you can do this weekend. Celebrate Father's Day the right way. Now, if you're looking for something to do tonight in Madison, an Armed Forces softball game is coming to Toyota Field. So let's hear from 48 Sarah Grace Kennedy what this event is all about.
The annual community softball game is being played here tonight at Toyota Field, with local leaders and veterans stepping up to bat. Retired Major General Jim Miles says he appreciates it when people thank him for his service.
When they say thanks for your service, it helps us remember and think about those that we serve with that paid the ultimate sacrifice. And it's just wonderful that this community goes the extra step, does multiple events to be able to say that.
Miles says it's not just soldiers that have made sacrifices.
It's their families. And because we joined the Army, we raised the right hand and we said we'll protect and defend the Constitution. But our spouses didn't do that, and our families didn't do that.
Miles says he's looking forward to and watching prominent local people playing, like Madison Mayor Finley.
It's a great event, because you're going to watch something like Paul Finley, who's really a great athlete, although he has a 17-year brain and how he thinks he can play, but he's got a 50-year-old body, so it's fun to watch him.
The first 500 people to attend the free softball event will receive free hot dogs. In Huntsville, Sarah Grace Kennedy, 48 on your side.
You had me at the free hot dogs there, Sarah. That sounds super awesome. And honestly, any excuse for me to get out to the ball field, I will take that excuse. But that is a super awesome event that is going on at Toyota Field tonight. So now let's talk about some state news. Now, our buddies down there at WBRC in Birmingham recently did a story on a new direct access law here in the state of Alabama. Let's watch.
A physician's referral's been the ticket you need to get here to see a physical therapist until now.
We're all super excited about this. I mean, Alabama, I think that most of the states in the country have direct access in some shape or form. We were one of the last to kind of get that law pushed through.
Direct access is now in effect in Alabama, allowing most patients to see a physical therapist without a referral. But it's limited to 30 days or 11 visits, whichever comes first. Jared Commander, a physical therapist who manages one of the Vestavia Champion Sports Medicine clinics, says it's possible to get the job done in a month.
especially non-surgical interventions. So your acute low back pain, your acute, I strained my bicep, 11 visits is actually quite a bit of PT. And if they're not 100% better, I think the key in that time frame is that we can show a lot of improvement.
For patients who need more help,
I'm probably just going to go ahead and send a little note to their primary care doctor saying, hey, your patient's under my care. I would love for you to keep track with me. And then in 11 visits or 30 days, I'm going to send another note saying, hey, this is the progress we've made. Just a heads up, I'd love for you to sign off on this.
but this doesn't mean you won't eventually end up seeing a doctor. If the PT feels you need imaging or a surgical consult, they must make the referral.
It's just a way that the medical continuum works better.
Most people rely on doctors to recommend a specific physical therapist. Commander encourages patients to search online to find a therapist that specializes in the area of care you need. Most importantly, don't wait until you're in a lot of pain.
We would love for you to come to PT right when your back starts hurting, right when your shoulder starts to not feel quite right. We've got to have some kind of deficit to treat, but those deficits usually start long before you're in the doctor's office with 10 out of 10 pain, with pain radiating down your leg and wondering how you got here.
It's also worth noting that physical therapists specialize in more than sports-related injuries or post-operative care. They have programs for those who are recovering from extended illnesses, even from heart attacks and strokes.
I know so many PTs who specialize in neurological disorders like Parkinson's or ALS or MS, vestibular disorders. Your sports medicine guys that are into certain particular athletic injuries like Tommy John surgery or ACL repairs in female athletes. There are so many people in Birmingham who are like really high-level PTs.
Direct access is available for most patients with private medical insurance. Those with federally funded medical insurance like Medicare and TRICARE still require a physician referral. Check with your insurance to see what's covered. Jen Horton, WBRC, Fox 6 News, on your side.
Thank you so much. Now, kind of circling back to sports, the Rocket City Trash Pandas will be back in town later this week to face off against the Mississippi Braves due to unplayable field conditions at Mississippi's Trustmark Field. Now, the Braves and Pandas will play 5 games in 4 days beginning tomorrow, so make sure you grab those Trash Panda tickets. Now, also in sports, and this is a not so happy story right here. Now, NBA legend Jerry West, whose image inspired the league's logo, has died. Now, the Hall of Fame point guard was an All-American at the University of West Virginia before playing 14 seasons for the Los Angeles Lakers. West led the Lakers to 9 appearances in the NBA Finals, capturing the title once in 1972. Now, West had a second career in the sport as an executive, famously as the general manager for the Shaq and Kobe Lakers, but most recently as an executive for the Los Angeles Clippers. According to a release from the Clippers, West died Wednesday with his wife Karen, who was by his side. He was 86 years old, and certainly a sad day for basketball there. And speaking of basketball, the NBA Finals, Game 3 is tonight. The Celtics currently lead the Dallas Mavericks 2-0. So we will have to see how the rest of this NBA Finals series pans out. Now, if you all remember yesterday, famous hot dog eater Joey Chestnut was banned from this year's Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Competition. Let's take a listen.
It's an American tradition that defies the senses. Every year on the 4th of July, hot dog eating king Joey Chestnut puts Nathan's and Coney Island front and center, dominating the annual hot dog eating contest. Last year was his 16th win, but today, shocking news. Joey Chestnut was bowing out.
He's like the superstar of the whole contest, so like if you lose him, that's a pretty big deal.
But it's unclear how this came to be. Major League Eating, the organization that runs the contest, implied Joey chose to jump ship because he signed a sponsorship deal with a plant-based company called Impossible Foods, saying MLE and Nathan's went to great lengths to accommodate Joey and his management team. agreeing to the appearance fee and allowing Joey to compete in a rival unbranded hot dog eating contest on Labor Day. We are devastated to learn that Joey Chestnut has chosen to represent a rival brand. But Joey tweeted on social media, "I was gutted to learn from the media that after 19 years, I'm banned from the Nathan's 4th of July hot dog eating contest. I love competing in that event. To set the record straight, I do not have a contract with MLE or Nathan's, and they are looking to change the rules from past years." All of it a surprising revelation outside the original Nathan's on Surf Avenue.
This is a new day, and a lot of people are moving toward plant-based things. If they're paying him, that's fine. I don't have a problem with it.
Meanwhile, Impossible Foods says, "We love Joey and support him in any contest he chooses. It's okay to experiment with a new dog. Meat eaters shouldn't have to be exclusive to just one wiener." Whether it was his choice or not, Joey's absence could be a good thing, so says Jeffrey Esper, who came in second place last year.
I think it might be actually more exciting because of the stiff competition for first place. It's not going to be a blowout, no way.
Spoken like someone who is typically in second place. No, I am just kidding. But that is a very sad day for Joey. I'm a big Joey Chestnut fan, so it's going to be sad not being able to see him in the competition. Now let's head into stories you're not going to want to miss in tonight's newscast. The Sandy Hook survivors graduating high school, a Jackson County animal fundraiser, and a new grant coming to Limestone County. These are just a few stories you're just not going to want to miss. And another thing you're not going to want to miss, the forecast from 48 First Alert meteorologist Jeff DeNoyer. He is in the building tonight giving you his latest forecast. So make sure you stick around because you're just not going to want to miss it. And speaking of weather, this transitions perfectly into our Facebook Fun segment. And let's pull up today's question. At what temperature do you consider it to be hot weather? Let's see, I think I consider 90s to be hot weather. I think once it reaches the 90s, it's hot. But let's see what you all had to say. Michelle said anything above 75. Michelle, I think that is perfect weather. 75, 80 degrees, that is just awesome. The sun's out. I love that. But Michelle, thank you so much for commenting. Let's see what else y'all had to say. Judy said, once it starts creeping into the 90s, it starts to be too much. Judy, I agree 100%. And Sharon said, it's the humidity that makes it so hot. And that was a very popular comment today. As the saying goes, it's the humidity that gets you, which is very true. But that is just about all the time I have today for Before the Four. I want to thank you all for sticking around. If you haven't done so already, make sure you download the 48 Digital app, turn on those push notifications, and get the breaking news delivered directly to you. And the same goes with the 48 First Alert weather app. But as we like to end it, let's pull it up. I want to thank you all for watching. Y'all have a great night.